Hi guys, welcome to my living room. I just want to introduce you to Jones the skeleton. We've been friends since university and normally he lived at the clinic, but I've sold the clinic, so he's got a new home in the living room, which I think my wife is slowly getting used to. And I've just realised that if I go like this, I have a tiny pair of antlers. Anyway, the reason for the video is to tell you why I just sold my business, which I did. And I think the best way to talk about it is just to read the post that I've written, because it puts it into better words than I could do off the cuff. So here goes. It won't take long. I had my chiropractic business for nearly a decade. I helped thousands of people and employed a great team. I had coaching from brilliant individuals, thank you Joe and Steve, and learned some lessons the hard way, and changed unrecognisably from the green boy I used to be. But in the last few years, I've had this creeping feeling that there was more I could be doing. It was getting harder to fully engage. The routine of work wasn't using all my strengths, and that was having a strong effect on me. I'm a creative person, and although I try to bring some of that into my practice, the nature of the job is just very repetitive. And for some people that's okay, and some people even thrive on it. But for me, after doing this and saying the same things for 14 years, it was really taking its toll on me. I love being a chiropractor, I just didn't want to do it for a living anymore, at least not for a while. I guess deep down, it just wasn't me. Not the me with a capital M. Not the me at the centre of it all, silent, watching and playful. The me that's left when everything else burns away. All the stories, the ideas and the clung to identity that keeps me in a certain shape. The me that woke me up at 6 o'clock in the morning to write this. So with only the vaguest notion of what I might become, I sold my business. I believe that in life you're either growing or dying. And it might happen so slowly that you don't notice. But if you stay on that path, it'll start to speed up, like compound interest. Until you're either building to greater and greater heights, or you're falling apart at an ever-increasing speed. I've spent far too much time trying to avoid that exponential decline. Pretending to play the game instead of playing to win. And as a result, I've missed out on really growing. I've always done okay, but I've never really succeeded or accumulated anything. I chose comfort and escape. But now I'm awake. And I have a sense of urgency that feels like I've just woken up halfway through my life and remembered that I came here for a reason. I'm not sure what that is yet, but it doesn't involve hiding. I must admit, dither, make excuses and change my mind a few times before actually doing it, because selling up and moving on felt like failing. But my wife Lucy helped me to see it as growth, and not just good, but necessary. So what now? So I've let go of what I knew and set out on an adventure to create from the chaotic seas of uncertainty and build a foundation based on what's meaningful and true to me now. Not a decision I made as a 16-year-old, influenced by family and circumstance. I want to create a structure and a pattern with my life that's strong and beautiful and useful. Not just a fabrication built on a house of cards poised to topple down at any moment when I take my eye off it. Action based on truth is authenticity, I think. And that's what I want the most. A direct and powerful expression of who I am that also pays the bills. I don't have kids yet, but they're not far off, which adds to the sense of urgency. I want to go into parenthood feeling like the man I want to be, or at least closer to him. And for me, that means making brave decisions, taking responsibility for my choices and my life, and shooting for a goal that I decide is important. To decide means literally to cut off. You choose what's important, and you get rid of the rest. That's a masculine trait and something I've neglected. The feminine is planting seeds in your garden, nurturing and watching them grow. The masculine is going out there with a machete and cutting down the weeds so that what you plant can grow. You need both. It's too much of either, you end up with a jungle or a desert, not a beautiful garden. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do now, but I do know that I'm done with sitting on my hands and waiting for the right door to open in front of me. So while keeping an eye out for opportunities, my plan is to do what I can do today to move my life forwards just that little bit. The things that turn tomorrow into a slightly higher platform to start again from. So I started, as Dr. Jordan Peterson wisely suggests, with tidying my room. Just putting the most immediate microcosm of my world in order so that when I wake up in the morning, the next step becomes clearer. And then I looked at my finances. No more head in the sand. And that was tricky. Cutting off dead wood, paying off debts, moving credit cards around so I wasn't bleeding money anymore. Suddenly my self-worth and motivation got a little boost, and the chaos below seemed a little bit calmer. With that foundation laid, I'm now starting to work on my new ventures. So to keep the money coming in, I'm investing in property after doing 2 years of education and coaching on it. And I'm putting everything I know about back pain into an online course that people can buy. And within those in place, I won't exactly be a millionaire yet, but it'll give me some breathing space. But my real passion is my new project, my Holy Grail project, that I see as the most powerful way I can apply my life right now. And that's finding meaning as a modern man. Initially taking the form of writing, doing interviews and making videos with the aim of it becoming a book. I don't know how it's going to help yet, but it's something I'm strongly drawn to. It came about through years of frustration with self-help courses, books and seminars, all of which told me I needed to find my why, my big reason for doing whatever I do. I always struggled with that because anything I thought of just felt a bit abstract and made up, if I'm honest. Like there was something deeper behind it that I couldn't quite put my finger on, but something at the essence of it all, but without that, well, nothing mattered. It took me a while, but I realized that it was meaning. Meaning is what you feel when your actions align with what you believe is important, not just the daily life stuff of making money and moving things around. Usually it means in some way making the world a better place, and in a way that uses your unique strengths and character and makes you want to get out of bed in the morning. So when I look around, it seems to me that this could be a piece of the puzzle that's missing from a lot of people's lives, and perhaps the root of a lot of problems. I'm focusing on finding meaning as a man in the 21st century because it makes sense to start with my own experience. I see gender roles as shifting as we evolve as a species. Women have more independence and opportunities, which leaves us guys guessing at what our job is now. The old template of have a baby or go out to work just isn't one size fits all anymore. While that's liberating, it does bring uncertainty too. When males feel threatened or uncertain, they often respond with aggression or apathy. Both of those are very destructive to relationships and the people around us, right through to society and the economy. And surely it must be easier for women to know who they are when the men in their lives, in relation to them, have themselves figured out. This is an important conversation, and I think it's the right time to be having it. The direction it takes will change and shape human history, and to me, that's meaningful. And there you go.